to another segment of Political View on Clevenard TV, your number one online TV. Well, I'm here again, I'm your host, Benjamin. Today we're going to be talking about the 2019 election, the arrival of the president back to Nigeria. And here, I'm not here alone, I have a guest here with me, and he goes by the name Mr. Femi.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Femi, it's good to have you too.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Femi, we're going to first dive into the issue, not like an issue. We're going to dive into the first point of conversation or discussion. So, the president has been away and been away for a couple of weeks now. He's back to the country. As at this morning, he's been having like a series of meetings with security chiefs. Do you think he's going as do you think his going has actually, have there been a difference? Do you think that the vice president has done enough to cover up for him? Or what do you think?
Well, I think the reason why we have the vice president is to assist.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. So, and in the absence of the president, definitely he has to step in. And I feel he has done a good job.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, he's back in the country and holding meetings here and there just to get issues sorted out.
Yeah.
And one of the issues is the issue of the DSS.
Yeah.
Also the reforming of SARS and all that. So I think he has done a good job in the absence of the president.
Yeah. Besides, the president being away has actually, I feel like even him, do you think he would have actually done the same thing the vice president did in his absence?
Like I said, even whatever decision he would have made in it, definitely the president will be aware of it.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I don't think whether he's there or not, whether he would have done better or done below what he's ought to do. So I feel the president being away has not really affected the country negatively.
Yeah.
So someone is still in position taking the shots.
Well, I think they've actually done a very, very good job so far. Even if I believe that at least the vice president would have consulted the president or before making any decisions.
Exactly.
It's really, I feel like, despite the fact that he left, he's not been around, the country still went on fine.
Yes.
Well, basically, the vice president have actually recorded some achievements this past few weeks, such as the overhaul of SARS, the sacking of the DSS, disbursement of healthcare funds, all of these things that happened. All of this, do you think that do you think that the president being away, if the president was here, would the president still do the same thing?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
So well, it's fine. Well, we're going to look out to 2019 election coming up. The president has not started out his official campaign. He has not started campaigning since he's been away. Other political parties have started their own campaign process. But now, so looking at 2019 election, what are the expectations from the ruling party?
Well, I think a lot of Nigerians are expecting much. Like in the previous election, when they set out with their manifestos and all that. So I think from the APC, they have ruled the country for 4 years, while the previous party ruled for like, I think probably 16 years, 1999. And expectations are high from Nigerians. And based on, because why the expectations are so high is as a result of the way the economy is right now. Things are not that moving fine, businesses are being affected and all that. So a lot is being expected of them that come 2019 for the ruling party to still be in power. They need to up their game. So but I would tell Nigerians to not to be over expectant.
Okay.
I think that's the problem we are facing.
Okay.
the other party ruled for 16 years.
Okay.
The problems on ground, they are not problems that just came up all of a sudden.
Something has been there.
It has been there even before independence. Okay. So you don't expect a country that is going through reformation and all that to just get things right at the first
instance.
Yeah. So I will employ Nigerians to please watch before they vote.
Okay.
And in order to exercise their right as well, they need to get their PVCs.
Exactly.
Because you cannot exercise your right. Either you want to vote out the incumbent governments, or you want them to remain in power, rise in your hand. Okay. And that starts with you getting your PVC.
Okay.
So I will employ them to first get their PVCs. After that, they can then decide who rules them for the next election, for the next 4 years.
Okay. So I have just one more. You know, there are a lot of defections currently happening now.
From
there are a lot of
parties,
yeah. These people, do you think that they still hold a threat to the ruling party?
I think for now, I've not seen any credible candidate from the opposing or from the oppositions that are available.
Okay.
I've not seen any credible opposition. So I will not say they stand or they pose any threat, okay, or a bigger threat, okay, to the ruling party. I feel with the mandate the ruling party has, and they can still have that edge over the other parties.
But there are people from the ruling parties, the strong,
yes,
the strong power, the
yes,
people that...
it is normal. Yeah. They said in politics, there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies.
Yeah.
So the other person can wake up tomorrow and say, okay, I'm going to the other party, and if it can be from the other party to the ruling party. So it's something that happens, though I won't say it's the ideal thing, but the Nigerian politics, the way it is structured, you can defect to any party of your choice.
Okay.
Maybe in order to fulfill your political ambition.
Okay. So a lot of Nigerians, especially a lot of youth, are clamoring that they want some youth to be their president.
Youth involvement
in politics and all of that. And with the coming up of different political parties who are trying to foster that ideology of youth being in government, do you think that this should make the ruling party, do you think that it should make them sit up? Because I believe that even if the youth come in, do you think experience is better than somebody who just coming up and doesn't really know how...
it's not as if the older generations are not needed. Okay. They are needed
for council.
Yeah, because be that as it may, the youth may take over as maybe one of the top positions in the country. It doesn't mean that they will relegate the older politicians or the people that are ahead of them to the background. Sure, they will still need their experience. So you cannot say, though in Nigeria, the majority of the population is dominated by the youth. So more reason that we need to have a voice at the top level, either at the presidency, the judiciary, or the lawmakers. So the presence of the youth should be felt more.
Okay.
So I believe the youth should involve more in politics. As a youth, you should have a party you belong to.
That's very true.
At the local level. So, and just the way the Nigerian system here is structured, it is very hard for you to just come out as a lone candidate or as an independent candidate, because you need funds. And these funds, if they are not available, you may not be able to achieve your... so if the laws can be relaxed a little bit for independent candidate to come up, whereas the youth can come into that process even without enough funds, but with the support of their community, with the support of the people around them, I believe they can come up through that platform and vie for positions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Femi.
You're welcome.
Well, I have one question. Looking at this present government, so far so good. Yeah, they've been ruling for like 3 years, and next year is going to be like their 4th year, that's their first year. So, and they're going to be like an election. So far so good. How do you think they've gone so far? And like how good, if you want to score them,
well,
based on achievements?
Yeah, like I said, the problems on ground was not just created from this present government. It has been there for a while. So, based on that, I may not score this present government so high, but at least I will still give them an average. Let's say a 50 or a 55.
So basically, what you are saying is that they've been able to try to instill the change they've been preaching.
Change, yeah. So, because in the past, once the government takes over, you see what most of them will try to do in their first year is to recoup all they have lost, either during election and all that. But you see that this government, they've set an example.
Okay.
You cannot just see money in circulation in excess, whereby leading to inflation and all that. There has been drastic reduction in the money flowing in the circulation because of that. So I guess maybe that's why most businesses, most people are maybe suffering, because the money is not dished out as usual. Let's say business as usual, because the government has been able to put how do I put it, regulations in place, so that you don't just feed from where you don't sow, which has always been the practice and norm in the past. So I believe the government is working.
So let's go on the issue of corruption. You know, corruption has been a major issue in this country.
Yes.
And this administration's agenda, one of their agendas was to tackle corruption. Do you think so far so good? Do you think they've been able to do a good job?
Yes, I would say an emphatic yes. Because this government has not given room for any form of laxity on the part of the officials in power. Because before now, once a particular government takes over, they don't bother to check the accounts, the books of the previous government. But in this dispensation, we've seen cases of bank MD, CEOs arrested for corruption.
Even the Senate president, before he defected. Yeah.
So we've seen cases like that this administration does not take the issue of corruption with levity. So it has made a lot of government officials to sit tight. Whatever position they hold nowadays, you see them, they don't want to get into the bad book of the government. So I would say, to a large extent, corruption has been taken care.
But you know, a lot of people defect because they don't want to face charges. And a lot of politicians will be like, okay, since I know that I've been I've been called upon to come to report to the EFCC's office, is whether I defect so that I'll avoid all these kind of problems. Do you think that has been a factor for the government not chasing over? Like, look at an example, Saraki, when he was in the Senate president, when he was in APC, he was being tried on 3 allegations. So, but now other people are now saying that Saraki, maybe because he has a problem with the government before now, but that's not true. But now others are now defecting from the other party to PDP. Do you think that this is them trying to avoid any form of
Well, I don't think that will stop the present government from doing the right thing. As in going after whoever is in question, or is wanting of corruption. So I don't think a politician defecting from one party to the other will stop him from taking the necessary action in tackling the issue of corruption.
Okay, let's go into security. Okay. How would you score this present government on security? Yes, there have been series of attacks in the north, and the government have been trying its possible means or possible best to try to curb all these attacks, and also the problem of SARS. But thank God that it has been overhauled. Now that the SARS officials will go for psychological evaluation before they are being reinstated. So far so good in terms of security. How would you score this present government?
Well, to a large extent, security, like in every society, is a major priority.
It's very
taken very serious. So, and I think this government has done a lot in that direction.
Okay.
So, and among them is the issue of SARS. A lot of complaints have come from the society that they are being harassed because of this and all that. But I think the present government has taken a bold step.
Okay.
And making sure that the lives of citizens are taken into serious consideration. So I would say, and then talking of the issue of the insurgency in the north, to my best of knowledge, I think the insurgency is politically motivated. Yes, because if you look at it, those that are in this situation, those that are in question, those that are involved, they are not the elites.
Okay.
They are the common man.
But don't you think it's the elites that are motivating?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it is politically motivated.
Okay.
Because for someone who is just a cattle rearer,
okay,
who goes about his business with the cattle on daily basis, so what business does he have with the other man attacking him? If not that someone has sat him down and talked to him about the benefit he will get if he can do this, if he can do that.
Well, that's been a major issue in the north.
Yes, so that's why it looks as if the government is not doing much in that direction.
But what do you think can be done that can curb all of this? Because some people already have the orientation that it's because the president is a Fulani man, so he's protecting their interests. So do you think that what do you think can be done to curb this?
Like I said, just like we have the issue of the Niger Delta issue back then, before like a commission was formed to really take care of them then, and you can see that since that has been done, you have never had much from the Niger Delta region. Talking of violence, if something of such can be done in the case of this cattle rearer, the Fulani and all that, sit at the center table and have a dialogue. What do you guys want? What do you need?
But they've already said what they want. They say they want ranches in the state.
Well,
and some state governors are saying no.
No.
They don't want. Why will you? I don't want you to have. I don't want you to rear your cows in my state. But in this right direction, do you think that at least they are protecting their own interests and their state? But to make peace or to allow peace to reign, do you think they should at least give out their land for cattle rearing and ranching?
You mean the governors?
Yeah, the
state governors. Well, it is still something that has to be dialogued about. Both the federal government and the state government, and whatever decision is reached at that round table talk should be discussed and act upon. You understand? So I feel it's a thing they can sit at the round table talk and talk about it, discuss it. What you think is obtainable at a particular state may not be obtainable at the other state. So there should be a way about it, around it. So I think the government at the federal, the state and the local can sit on that and maybe bring out a legislation to...
and there's this very funny Okay, you're still on your favorite online TV, Clevenard TV. We will still have here Mr. Femi on our program, Political View. We're still talking about the issues of the country, the political issues, the president's arrival, 2019 election coming up, and all of that, and the security, and what can be done to ensure a better Nigeria. So, I just have one more question for you, Mr. Femi. Okay. You know, a lot of, look at Niger Delta, during the period of Jonathan, they were all agitating for a better Niger Delta and all that, and it has been, some sort of policy was made, like the amnesty thing was done, and now the ceasefire. And now, because now the president is a Fulani man, the Fulani herdsmen are everywhere. Do you think that if an Igbo president comes up tomorrow, the Igbo people will shout and say, okay, this is what we want? Do you think that will happen?
Well, I don't think that should be a trend.
But why do that thing keep occurring? Is it they are being selfish, or I don't understand, why do they keep feeling like, oh, because this person is from my tribe and all? Should tribalism be a factor in ruling a country or governing a country?
Not at all. Not at all. Tribalism should not come in at this point, because we all are for the peace and the good of the nation.
Okay.
So, and whatever would divide us, we should not bring it into the picture. Okay. So when you say the Fulani are agitating for something and seeing that they are, the president is from their side, that should not be a factor for them raising up or creating a bandit or whatever in their region. Okay. So I think, like I said, if an Igbo person should come up,
will that also be a problem?
Well, I don't think it would be. I don't think that will come up. Okay. Because
you don't think that will come up, or you don't think an Igbo person will be president? I want to get your points right.
No. Okay. No, sure. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and the other tribes, they are all entitled to any of the positions available. Okay. So, peradventure, if an Igbo person should come up as the president today, I don't think the Igbos, known for their for being industrious, to come up with such. And if at all they come up with such, I think whoever is in power then will be able to manage it effectively.
Okay, what aspect of the government, what aspect now is it the economy, or is it the security aspect, or is it the food or economy? What aspect in the government, or where do you think that the government should channel more strength, more resources to ensure that the country is better? What advice will you give the government?
Well, I think there are a lot of areas to channel resources to. Okay. But I would rather say the government to channel their energy or their resources towards agriculture. Okay. Because in the past, agriculture has given this country a lot of revenue.
But they are actually doing that right now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They still need to do more because the era of the oil boom has gone. Okay. So the international, what's it called? The oil in countries, the prices of oil keep fluctuating, going up, going down, and we cannot keep depending on that as a nation. So why not focus on what we can produce locally? And from the agricultural sector, we can produce a lot of locally made goods that are even exportable.
Exactly.
So I will employ the government to channel a lot of resources in that direction, so that all these foreign stuffs, anything called foreign now, we always want to go for. We believe they are of high quality and standard. Whereas we have locally made industries that can do same or even better than what we think is of high quality here. So I will employ the government to channel resources in that direction. The agricultural sector first, the local industries as well, empower them so that they can have a substitute for these imported goods. So if you have your locally made goods of high quality and at a reduced rate, definitely the imported goods will witness low turnout, low turnover, while the locally made goods, people will go for it more. So and with that, it will impact the economy positively.
Exactly. Okay, I was actually expecting you to say youth development, because there are lots of youths now. They want a lot of people, a lot of youths that I know have great ideas on businesses, on innovation. But they don't have that platform to come out. Even if the federal government has been able to bring up different areas where they can, get funds.
Yeah, I think there are banks specifically made for that purpose, where youth with good ideas, with how do I put it, realistic ideas, so can go and source for fund to actualize their ideas and dreams. So I think some financial institutions have been set aside for that, like the Bank of Industries, where you can approach, we don't need collaterals, you can approach them and present your ideas and stating what you need to get your dreams actualized. So I think youth empowerment is also an area that the government should focus on, because we have a lot of youth out there that are graduating every year. A lot of universities out there churning out thousands of graduates every year. So the area of youth also should also be looked into by the government, and I believe the government is doing something about that.
Well, viewers, you've heard it, or Mr. Femi has been able to enlighten us, and I hope someone out there is hearing and listening to all that we've got to say. Well, thank you very much for being here with us on another segment of Political View. Well, I'm still your host, Benjamin, and I'm glad that you've been able to join us. Sit back for the next edition of Political View. Thank you very much. Also, the future is in your hands. So I would advise all youths, Nigerians out there who are eligible to vote, to go get registered and get their PVC, because if they want a better future, the future is in their hands. They need to go out there, get their PVC, and come out on the day of the election to vote. It's not about Instagram, it's not about Twitter. Twitter will not vote for you. Social media will not vote for you. You should go out there, come outside, exercise your fundamental human right, and choose your future, because your future is what that matters.